all remember a while ago, when Sonic Frontiers initially dropped, if there was one little terminology or one little phrase which was thrown around when the game was being described and reviewed by almost everyone, it had to be the fact that Sonic Frontiers felt like a step in the right direction. Because was the game flawed? Yes, but then at the same time, I don't think that there's any denying that with some tweaks here and there, that it generally could be a really good template for what can come in the future. Especially because it featured some things which were a long time in the making, or just something which were missing for a long time, like multiple playable characters and a few other things which I could describe but would be a bit too long for this intro in particular. And this is the part where I get into the video and start talking about a little game called Sonic Dreamteam, which recently dropped. Now, if I was gonna be real with y'all, Sonic Dreamteam feels like a game that isn't really real at times. Because on one hand, if you were just gonna look at it from a glance, it just kind of looks like a cute little game that you could play on your phone or whatever. But it's when you really look into the details that it just feels like something that feels like a whole polished game, which is just insane. Because multiple playable characters, levels that are a lot more open and are apparently inspired by Sonic Adventure 2 and Tony Hawk of all things, levels which apparently take advantage of the fact that there's different playable characters, and things like 6-player co-op was something which I never thought I'd hear from a modern Sonic title, but here we are with this game. But if there was one thing which really impressed me about this game from the little bit of gameplay that I've been able to see so far, it has to just be the gameplay itself. Because while Sonic Frontiers did do something with the more open level design in its gameplay, because well, we were playing in these mini open worlds with each of the islands, here it kind of feels like that, but just done in a better way because it's just a lot more compact. Because with the way about how the levels are structured in this game, you generally get the sense that, sure, you could just beeline your way straight to the objective and just do whatever you need to do to get the situation done. But then at the same time, there's a lot of variety in what you can and cannot do with certain characters, given how they all play with certain different gameplay styles, along with the way about how the levels just feel open, just to allow you to explore and just do other things, which I find is pretty cool. And I know it's a bit of a ridiculous thing to ask for like a mobile game to do compared to, like, I don't know, a console game, but I'm generally hoping that in some capacity this game is like a bit of a sneak peek for what may happen in the future. Because generally speaking, if like the next Sonic game is somewhat like this, you know, with the more open approach but still somewhat remaining traditional in some capacity by mixing and matching both of the gameplay styles together, I do feel like it could be an interesting mix. Because I do feel like with Frontiers, you could see what they were trying to go for when it came to certain gameplay elements within the open zones and whatnot. And I do feel like this in some way does feel like an improvement upon that, with how it's just a lot more compact and short, you know. So who knows, when it comes to the future, things might be bright. But unfortunately, I can't really play this game because of it being an Apple Arcade exclusive. But regardless, you know, this game does look pretty neat for what it is. I hope that, you know, for the future of Sonic, this might be another step in the right direction. But I'm Lowell360, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll catch y'all in another video coming soon. Later, folks.